I was turning right, I believe. We were right there on that road, and I can remember you riding in your gray or your silver. What was it? A
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix. And all of a sudden, I see your hand go out the window with a Marlboro light in it. And I'm going, what is he doing? Wait, he at school right now. I had an appointment. Is he skipping or what?
This tree.
Ooh. I'm coming. Coming. Butt crack plumbing.
I'm looking for the tree service.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Timber tree service.
I was seeing if you could come look at a tree for me next week.
I could squeeze you in, man. I think I can squeeze you in.
Don't get fooled like Peyton and call just anyone. You need a name you can trust. Call Buckeye Preferred Services. They are insured with over 35 years experience in custom tree felling, crown reduction, whole tree removal, as well as stump grinding and cleanup. They are cutting out your problems one limb at a time, serving the greater Middle Georgia area and beyond. You can find their Facebook in the description and call them at 478-484-2178 or 478-278-5574.
Well, hello to my wonderful people out there in YouTube and podcast world. Welcome to episode 27 of the formerly known as Coffee and Ketchup podcast, which is now known as the Chris and the Thomases podcast. Here we are. We've got yet another one with us today. We're very happy to have the recently released Kevin Thomas here with us.
Welcome home, KT.
What a great time. You know, you've been down for a while. Said the first thing he wanted to do, didn't want to get nothing to eat. He wanted to come straight on the podcast as soon as he touched down. Great. Love the dedication. Love to have it. We've been mailing him phones in prison just so he could watch it. It's been good times. Good times.
It's good to be out too. and I will never get in a police car again.
They're not taking me alive, Smokey.
Then again, thanks all for tuning in. We appreciate everything. Appreciate all the support. If you can, just hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash that like button so we can get the YouTube algorithm rolling. And Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe how old you are, where you're from, and just a little bit, just kind of an intro so these folks kind of know a little bit more about the man, the myth, the convict, Kevin Thomas.
I'm Kevin. I'm the older brother of Derek and Brian.
It's a tough job.
I will be 54 years old December 31st, the end of the month. I'm married to the former Kim Stokes. We have two boys. Zach is 21. He's a senior at Georgia Southern University. And Camden's our youngest. He is 18, and he's a freshman at Georgia Southern. And I've been in the same job for March will be 34 years now.
Wow.
It's getting it.
That don't happen.
It flies by.
That don't happen very often.
No, I'm 35. He's been working in the same place almost as long as I've been alive.
That's right.
What year were you born?
88.
Lick on his neck.
88.
I started in March of
He can't
1990.
see that side.
March of 90.
Right.
March of 90.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You were how old?
I had just turned 20.
Just turned 20, so I was 16. I was about to turn 16, I guess.
Right.
And I didn't realize how important of a deal that was, but I knew that you knew.
Getting a job.
No,
I didn't know.
we all had a job.
Yeah, it's been a good place to work.
Yeah. Been good to you and the family.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. Like I said, we're definitely glad to have you on. Very excited for this episode. We got a bunch of funny things to talk about today, a bunch of funny things. We're going to be laughing. We hope y'all be laughing. And I think first, Brian's got a funny little story of something that happened to him this week.
I've been chomping at the bits when this happened, trying not to tell y'all about it because I loved it. It was so much fun doing this. So everybody's aware of Facebook scammers and how they can get on your messenger.
Not to be confused with Brian Thomas and his Facebook marketplace
We're not
scams.
talking about folks that get on the marketplace and Lawrence County Info and now
Pretend to
Blakely
be able
County
to do
Info.
work.
Yeah, not that type. The real scammers, if you will. You don't have Facebook, but like they'll get on your messenger and you can tell it's either a bot or someone from probably another country trying to get you to click this link, and then of course they're hacked into your stuff, and I don't know what all they can do, but I know they can do a lot of crazy stuff, right? So I get these messages from them sometimes, and they'll be posing as a friend of mine that I'm friends with on Facebook, right? All right, everybody follows that. So here's what happened. I will only say his first name to protect the innocent. I got a message from a guy that we're going to call Dwayne the other day, and as soon as he sent me the first part, said, "Hi, Brian," I knew immediately it wasn't him. You know, it's not how he's going to start out the
What does
conversation.
he usually say?
Well,
Can we say it on air?
I've not talked to him since he coached me baseball when I was like 12. So.
Oh. Never mind. Continue.
I knew it wasn't him, right? So I'm playing along. So I'm like, "Hey, Dwayne." He says, "Have you heard about the good news?" I'm not going to tell you everything for the sake of time, but I said, "Of course I've heard the good news. Hey, man, you remember when we used to steal meat from the food tiger? We used to kill them, didn't we, buddy?" Because I'm like trying to take him off of his game, right, and start trying to implement him in some things. And the scammer, I'm hoping this scammer will buy what I'm saying, and he'll be like, "I don't know who I'm pretending to be, but this is a pretty rough character," right? So I'm like, "Hey, man, you still eat steak on your ketchup?" He's like, "Yeah."
Steak on your ketchup.
Ketchup on your steak. My bad. I'm so
You
excited.
still eat ketchup on your steak.
So I'm like, "How's Scooter been?" He's like, "Pretty good." So now I'm like,
bad.
"I got him, bro. I got him." He's actually playing along. He's saying, "Hey, 4 of my good friends got grant money from the federal government. I applied and I got $41,000. And I said, "Dwayne, you don't need $41,000 with all that money you've taken from insurance companies over the years. That's chump change, bro." So he's like, "Oh, I invested the money in cryptocurrency." And I'm like, "What about that $110,000 you got from Miss Jackson? She was for real."
The song.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
So I'm just going. So
gosh.
now I wanted to throw some wrestling in there, right? So I said,
Of course you did.
"Hey, did you hear about Rick?" He said, "No, what's going on? Tell me." I said, "He lost his legs messing with that damn Hulkamania. Got him a few weeks ago in the squared circle." He said, "Oh, are you serious? When was that?" And I said, "Back in November." He said, "I'm sorry to hear that." And this guy's playing along. He's like, "I'm sorry to hear that."
You've done wrapped him in.
Wrapped him in.
He was worried about Rick at that point.
Listen, he's concerned about Rick.
I'm telling you.
And he's so sorry that Rick lost his legs. And he said, "I'm sorry to hear it." I said, "Yes, so was Lex." All he got left is Rick after Miss Elizabeth tapped out for the final bell.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. This is the best part. He says he's trying to get me back focused on the grant money because he's wanting to send me this link, wanting me to click the link, so he's got me. And I know this. "Are you interested in the grant, Brian?" I said, "Grant don't have any money, Dwayne. He owes me money from that car I sold him in 2017. So he says, "You don't know how to connect to the agent, but I can help you connect to the Facebook agent." I said, "I don't think I need to contact the federal agent, Dwayne. I've got warrants for that mess down in Miami." He said, "Believe this agent's going to help you out. He'll get you back the money that they owe you." And I said, "They want to send me to prison." Don't try to bring back bad memories, but he says, "No way." And I said, "Yes way." He says, "You talk to the agent." And I said, "Wait, there's a black van with tinted windows outside my house. There's a big guy with a mohawk behind the wheel just sitting there. He's got a lot of gold chains on. Did you tell them where I am, Dwayne? He said, nope. Didn't tell anyone about you. I said, a white-haired man just got out smoking a cigar. He's coming up my driveway. He's coming up my driveway, Dwayne. And then in all caps, I said, did you tell them where I live? He said, what do you mean? You're joking, right? And I said, it's them. They're at my door ringing the doorbell. He said, well, let's talk about the grant. I don't know about any white guy or a black van in Derrick. I sent him a picture. And Chris is putting the picture up now.
We'll put the picture up right here.
In all caps, I said, they're coming, Dwayne. Send that to Derrick.
You are God.
Listen, I'm looking at Derek to figure out, like, I want to see his reaction when he realizes you're trying to set up the 18 bit. And when he figures it out, that he was taking a swig of water and he spit it back into his mug. And I'm looking at Kevin the whole time during this whole story, and he's just got such a look of shame on his face.
I knew it would get him. I didn't know if it would get him or not.
I didn't see the humor in it at all.
That's the beauty of it. I'm sorry.
Kevin just looks so disappointed the whole time.
Kevin's disgusted going, why did I agree to do this?
No, I don't understand why you're laughing like a hyena over here.
Oh, my God.
I guess because he and I live together and I know all the stupid stuff he
we've got the
does.
same sense of humor in a lot of ways.
God, bro. I was crying, dude.
I see that. You were spitting on me, too.
Oh, God. I couldn't believe I spit my water back in the cup.
Right back in. It was so funny.
I've been
I
holding
looked
that.
over close enough to see him go.
I've been holding that for about 5 days.
The beauty of the whole story is that you, Chris, and I thought it was funny, and Kevin's sitting back like this.
Look, it's like, I just kept watching Kevin see, like, is he going to think it's funny?
I'm wondering how much more time we've got.
We've got plenty of time, Kevin. Less time than what you did in prison. Don't worry about it.
That's right.
Yeah, he told me that story in the office because he wanted to make sure that we could get the picture on the screen or whatever.
Oh,
And he was the same reaction when he told it to me, just cracking up, and I'm just like,
I was
right.
dying, bro. I was telling Angie about it and crying, telling Thomas about it and crying. I was calling people, man, telling them about it, crying.
I think part of the reason I thought it was so funny because when Colby was younger, we ended up watching the whole
Series.
series, the whole A-Team, because it was on whatever it was on. And I actually kind of got into it. I guess part of it was just reminiscing.
Yeah.
When we watched it back in the day.
I don't know where that came from in my head, man, why I picked the A-Team to be outside my door. But
That's funny. To everybody but Kevin, at least.
yeah. To Kevin and Dwayne, they didn't appreciate it.
it worked 75%.
I just love that Kevin's going to be real.
I guarantee you.
He's not going to sugarcoat it.
Guarantee you, man.
Okay, good.
Ooh, me.
So, Brian, there's got to be some things that the three of y'all did growing up. Now that we can get all three of y'all up here to share some childhood stories, nobody has the opportunity to fudge the truth, if you will.
Some of them will forget it.
Now that I've got a trustworthy convict like Kevin here,
That's right, yeah.
to keep you two in line.
That's right.
You know,
I was at the mall this past weekend going into Bath and Body Works and walked past this area that used to be the Dublin Mall's version of a food court.
Yeah.
Which was one restaurant? Maybe at one time they had two there.
Two. What were the two restaurants?
The Sidewalk Cafe.
Yeah.
What was the other one, Kevin? Do you remember?
It's a Japanese place, right?
what did the sidewalk
Chinois?
Chinois?
That was it. Yeah.
Chinois? What did the sidewalk cafe say?
Everything you would expect from a
It was
cafe.
actually just
Chicken
It wasn't
fingers.
bad. It was not bad.
It was real
But
good.
that's back when everybody used to hang out at the mall.
That before
And when you were young,
checkers took over.
Before cell phones and checkers.
Do you remember?
Checkers opened back up. Y'all didn't know that?
No, they did not.
No, I'm kidding.
He was so me.
He was serious.
Because if anyone would know, it would be you.
That's
right.
He's
They're
like,
still-
no, I'm just kidding.
Dang. Do you remember at the Sidewalk Cafe it was Christmas time. It was December. We were sitting out there, the four of us. Me, you, Derek, and Mama. I'm going to guess you were 12. That's just the best guess I have.
Derek doesn't make you 10.
Very good. And I would have been
8.
Nice math. The skills on this one is impressive. And we're sitting there eating. Probably been shopping with Mom or something. And you were sitting there, Kevin. I'm not making this up. This happened. You had some fries. You remember?
No, I do not remember this.
And Santa Claus come walking by and didn't say anything to any of the four of us and reached over and got one of your fries and kept walking and pissed you off.
I'm not surprised at that.
Like a Santa,
Santa, 100% Santa,
full
fully decked
uniform
out.
regalia.
Yes.
He was taking a break.
He was taking a break, probably going to go smoke a cigarette
I don't
One or two
remember
of them
that.
Pall Malls.
and take a nip off of his bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't remember
I
that?
don't remember that.
That was when I put it in my brain, do not mess with this man's food.
Especially not a French
If he
fry,
wants
man.
to fight Santa Claus over
Yeah.
a fry,
Yeah. He's willing to be on that permanent naughty list for that fry. He ain't worried about it.
yeah, dude.
Well, I'll buy anybody anything they want, but don't take food off me. I'm not stingy,
That's
but don't
right.
take it off my
That's
plate.
right. It was rude. Now I'll give you that. It was rude.
Oh, God.
Especially not even say nothing to anybody.
Santa was doing it just as a joke. He thought
Sure.
it'd be funny.
Yeah, he
of
thought
course.
it was. Probably drunk.
He didn't know I wasn't like most 12-year-old kids.
He did not know that.
Messing
You were
with
the
right one
oldest.
today.
You were not just the oldest in our house. You were the oldest in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
And y'all have mentioned that before. We did grow up in an awesome neighborhood.
Yeah. How many kids was it? I had a count at one time.
I was thinking back, actually the other day when I told you I would come on and do the podcast when they let me out on parole. And by the way, everybody that knows me knows I've never spent a night in jail.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just to clear
That's
the
what
air.
makes it so funny.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, I
It's
know.
so
Yeah.
so crazy of a thing to say.
Yeah, I wasn't offended at all by that. But
I'm glad.
I was thinking about all the fathers. You know, we grew up without a father, of course.
Right, right.
But you had the only one still alive now is can I say his name on here?
Yeah.
Scott Beasley.
Yeah.
Scott Beasley.
It sure
He's
is.
still with us. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine,
You're
fine-
right. You're right.
Fine man too.
Absolutely.
Great man. We think so much of them, him and Miss Lynn. But
Yes, sir.
But several of the dads have passed on through the years.
All of them right there that we were especially tight with.
Right.
Yeah.
Them and their children. Charles is still alive, laying up on the corner.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were allowed so much to hang
Yeah,
with
Charles
us.
is. But they were not.
They
They
weren't-
didn't. They wasn't there the whole time though. We
That's
lived there.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
They
true.
did live there for a little while, but
Yeah. How many would it have been, though? I think I set a number on here, and it was probably just a guesstimate. But I would say, if you include the girls, I would say
there
14.
was probably 14.
I just
14.
counted 11 just going around the neighborhood
Okay,
in my
yeah.
head.
Yeah. And we were all
The
within
Bazemore, you got to remember the Bazemores too.
Yep.
They were-
I included them.
Yeah.
I included
Russell.
them. And it was what? Probably 5 years within. The majority of us, 10 of us were probably within 5 years of each other.
Probably, yeah.
So you were
There was always something going on though.
Yeah.
Especially summertime, we were out of school.
always.
Yeah.
It wasn't like nowadays. These kids playing video games, and my kids did the same thing a lot, but they did get outside, just not as much as we did.
That's all we did.
They should have went outside and threw rocks at each other like good kids.
Derek, you were younger than what you had said on that podcast about getting hit with that rock, because I was standing over there right by you.
He's got a good memory.
It hit you right square in the forehead.
Yeah.
And it was just a trickle of blood, and I was like, don't go tell Mom. You're going to be okay. She's going to take all three of us in the bathroom and whip us. Throwing rocks at each other.
Oh, my God.
I took off.
And do you remember it was those what do you call them, landscaping rods?
Yeah, the little white ones.
We didn't have it, but Mom had put them. I had them put somewhere, like in
Around
a
the pool.
bed or something.
Around the
maybe
Probably
around
outside the pool. Yeah.
And I guess we
Like
got
River
a
Rock?
bunch of them. Huh?
Yeah, we had a
Like
bunch
River Rock.
They,
They were white, wasn't they?
white,
Yeah, they
though.
were-
Oh,
Like,
okay,
back in the
okay.
day, I think maybe
Yeah.
they were washed or I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
But that's where the rocks came from, though. We had plenty of those.
That one wasn't white for very long.
No. Doused in red, if you will.
You were probably about 8 years old, I imagine.
Golly.
You were young.
Really?
And
Yeah,
Wayne
I'm
was in
guessing.
high school? Was he not in high school
He
yet?
was.
How much older than
If
you
you
is
were
he?
8, I was 10. He would have been probably 14.
Okay. I can buy that.
I'm guessing now. He was about 4 years older than me. Let's see. Yeah, he was 4 years older than me in school.
Wow.
Anyway,
I just want to prove something, if I can, real quick. Kevin, what year did Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet come out?
1986.
6.
Okay.
They toured 86 and 87. And 88, and they wrote New Jersey on that tour and toured it 88 and 89.
He just got a good
Wow. Not only
You
does
can
he
ask
have,
me a lot of stuff, dates and years.
how do you remember? Do you have a
Don't
special?
ask me.
You just remember it.
I've been called ignorant, but I can remember stuff.
Mike, what you got? We got a little bit of that touch, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a little tism.
Oh,
So
gosh.
stories from childhood, growing up in a good neighborhood. You got any other ones, Brian, besides the Santa?
Yeah,
Santa
man.
just stealing a French fry.
Yeah.
Put yourself on the
Yeah.
naughty list, Santa.
I got a question that Kevin, see if Kevin remembers this. So we always got spanked in that back bathroom.
Yeah.
And usually it was all three of us. It was
Most of the time, we were all three involved.
It was rare that there was one or two of us that got in trouble.
Well, Brian got pretend spanked.
Yeah, that's right. He never really got spanked. But do you remember?
Got him too now.
Do
Yeah,
you,
she did.
do you remember the last time that you got one?
Yeah.
Can you want to tell that story?
I was. It wasn't in the bathroom. I think I was probably 14. I was 14.
It was the
probably.
first bedroom on the left going
Yeah,
down the hall. Okay,
yeah.
so tell the story.
In the house on,
Do you?
in the house on Waverly?
Yeah. Do you remember what
That
you
was
did?
your bedroom, correct?
Right. I think so because Brian was
Mine's in the back corner. Mine
Yeah.
was to the right.
right. So do you
It's
remember
been
what
a
you
long
did?
time ago.
Do you remember what you did?
I don't have a clue, but all I know is I was like, she told me to put my hands on the bed and got the old belt out.
Yep.
And started lashing across my butt, and all it did was piss me off. I mean, at that age, you know what I mean. I didn't talk back or anything like that. But I did kind of revel in the fact when I turned around. And Mom probably remembers this. When I remember
does.
turning around, I was just glaring at her. Like, hit me hard as you want to. You're not going to hurt me.
Are we
said
done
that?
yet?
And I don't remember what it was about. I might have done something. One of y'all been mean to one of y'all.
Now, one other one too.
But these two ganged up on me just as much as.
No, we did.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, they did.
I
too.
believe it.
They
sit
would
on here.
try to irritate me. They knew what
Speaking
kind
of the devil,
They sit on here and try to be like, we're just podcasting. We're it's a front.
so you remember the time, and you just brought that up, and this is perfect timing. So we were renting a house at the time. Mom was building a house, and you were changing a light bulb.
Yeah.
Were you standing up on your vehicle to
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't reach it.
Yeah, I couldn't reach. I
Let's
was
say-
changing the bulb in the car.
And we don't have to give all the details to this, but Brian, it was
we didn't get a spanking. She slapped us across the. I know you're leading into that, but
I was gonna leave that part out.
Derek's trying to give you the eyes like, we don't have to say everything that happened.
I was ready. I don't mean.
Hold on, back up.
Go
We
ahead.
got to get there. We got to get there. So the two of us were aggravating you.
I don't think I was out there.
I'm sure you were. You beat me inside. You had a butter knife. You had a butter knife where you were changing. You were unscrewing the.
You remember that?
You were unscrewing. It was.
I
one
might have
of-
been trying to pry it off. of there.
No. It had because I remember I had them like this in the old house.
Derek is scarred. He remembers every detail from
You're
this.
saying what was holding it on?
That's right. You had to use a butt. We used a butter knife, and you were taking it off. One of us was aggravating you. We would go to the door. We would do something, or we would.
It was you mainly.
Was
He
I
trying to blame it
reaching?
on
Was
me.
I reaching to hand you something? Then I snatched it back.
I can't remember, but
If you keep on there, come on.
y'all,
You were probably six.
was-
You were 16, maybe.
I had to be about 6.
And because you were on your car, and I was probably
right.
14. He was probably 12. I swore it was him
I
that
just
was
jumped up
messing
on
with
there
you.
trying to get to it, and y'all were aggravating
You
me.
were being the man of the
Kevin's
house.
just trying to help out.
And
Y'all were aggravating the crap out of me.
yeah.
And I remember I jumped. I told you better stop. and y'all egged it on and it kept on. And we shot in the house. I think Brian made it in there first.
He was gold.
Because he was kind of on the edge. He was right there at the door. Almost, he was saying stuff. I don't know if he said something like, "Don't get mad, Kevin." Is he going to lose control or whatever? And I was aggravated because I couldn't get what I was trying to do. It was aggravating me. And anyway, I jumped down, shot in the door behind Derek.
The kitchen was right there. The kitchen was right in there. Mama was in the
Mom
kitchen.
was in the
She was in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if she was in there in the living room in there, but yeah, she popped you across the face.
No, I thought she got you first, and when she came to me, I closed my
Didn't
eyes.
she get you like that?
She didn't get me. I don't think she got me. I
Maybe
thought
she
was
just
you.
got me.
I know she got you because she thought you were fishing to kill me.
She was trying to get my attention, I think.
She
And
was.
She did.
She got it.
Because you act like you were fishing to kill
I
me.
wasn't gonna literally
I
kill
know,
you. Y'all
but
trying to make me look.
That's what she thought. She thought she was like, what?
I guess she didn't know anything was going on. She was inside, and when we came in, like a bunch of banshees, and
And Brian's back there in the bedroom with the door shut, then playing Nerf basketball. I was back here all the time, Mama. Innocent.
probably,
Innocent.
probably. He did get away with a little more, being the baby of the family.
I did.
I paved the way for y'all too.
You did.
You really did.
You did.
Thank you for that.
In high school too.
Oh, you're welcome.
You paved the way in high school too. First day of school, man. Every class just about calling my name. Brian Tom. Are you Kevin's brother? Yes, ma'am. Am I gonna have trouble with you like I did with him? Cause you got another brother named Derek too. I didn't have a word out of him.
That's
Which
true.
one are you like? The oldest.
Yeah.
That was
The
true.
oldest for sure.
Trying to be like him.
Trying to outdo him
Yeah.
because he did a lot in high school.
Yeah.
Once I hit about the 10th grade, my grades went south because I just didn't. If I couldn't get it, I just gave up on it. And I was going to show Mom and those teachers. I was like,
And you
showed,
did.
I showed them. I failed the 12th grade.
Got an extra year to show him one more time.
Yeah, I straightened up that year though.
I was so glad you didn't make it out when you did.
Well, we got to go to.
All three of us.
We all three were over there at the same time.
Yeah.
Thanks to me.
Yeah. That was a good time.
That was
I
very
just-
noble
I was-
of you.
I was a little,
Yeah.
maybe a little unruly. I
A
guess
little.
is the word.
A little. I can remember I had I was driving. I must have been 16, and probably 11th grade. I had got tardy hall or something like that. Had to stay after for an hour, and I got home at like 4:30 instead of 3:30. And you were at the house. We were on Robertson, and I come in and I was proud because I had been in tardy hall, you know. And I'm fixing to tell my brother, I'm like you. It's like detention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's detention. You stay an hour after school to work off if you got caught skipping, or usually if you got in a fight, they'd send you to the alternative school, which is the green the green building's what we call it. Now it's
Yeah.
no longer there. It was over there by the old battlefield football field behind Central Elementary School.
So you were proud you got you an hour late?
Yeah, I come
detention?
in 4:30 or so.
Party hall.
Kevin said, "Where you been?"
I probably got on to you.
You did.
Yeah.
Got on to me.
Well, I didn't
you're
necessarily
like,
set
nah.
the best example, and I can say all this now because both of my boys are out of high school, and
Yeah.
fortunately they did great. Honor graduates. That their mom Kim rubbed up on them.
Thank you, Kim.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were honor graduates. Both of them played baseball. They didn't get in much. I'm not going to tell that, but didn't get in much trouble at all.
Right.
But I just didn't.
Care?
I don't know. I guess
Yeah, you didn't care.
That was it.
I wouldn't consider myself wild. I just didn't. The authority I had a little trouble with, I guess. Till
Sure.
anyway.
Yeah, you got on to me about being in trouble at school, and I just can remember sitting there thinking to myself, Are you serious?
You know, I had so much tardy hall.
I'm just
my
trying to be
12th
like
grade-
you.
My 12th grade year. And it's probably from skipping school. It was easier
Right,
to do that
right.
back then. I mean, they'd come around. If you were absent from class, you would they'd put your name on a slip and put it outside the door. Well, if you knew some girl that worked in the office, you just get them to, you know what I mean? Scratch me off that.
How many of them girls did you know?
I'm just saying, girls. I mean, I worked in the office that last year I was there.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, just
Your second.
I only had to get like 3 credits.
His second senior year.
Anyway, I worked up there, and I mean, I told them all then. I said, y'all ain't got to worry about me this year. I'm going to behave. You won't have a problem.
Trying
And
to be done
they
with it,
didn't have a. I got to get out of here this year.
Yeah, I'm
not
trying to be
quitting.
done with you fools.
But anyway, but you could get tardy hall like they might give you 20 hours. I mean, there's only so many days of schooling in the year. It was only an hour, but I can remember me and Greg Vines. We were going to pick up pine cones out there, you know, where the tennis courts are now. It was like, I think it was getting toward the end of the year, and they had the St. Patrick's Festival.
Yeah.
And maybe they had a bike ride or something.
Yeah, probably. Or the run.
I remember they used to pitch tents up there in those pine trees.
The runs would end up at the high school.
Across from
the
the-
2 mile and the
Well,
6
they
mile.
want to dress it up, so we could work off like 10 hours. We'd stay after for an hour one day, and they'd knock off 10 hours.
Picking up pine cones?
Yeah, Greg had
That's
a
a
Bronco.
deal.
Greg had a Bronco, and we just pulled it up there. Shouldn't have done that either, but nobody was supervising us. And we just pulled it. It was a 73, 74 Bronco. The top would come off, so we used that as our trash can. I mean, our wheelbarrow, what have you, and pull it up there in the pines, and he'd just drive it, and we'd be throwing it for an hour and get 10 or 15 hours worked off.
Yeah, I just need to grab this cake from Mama real quick, and then we can go ahead and go over there.
This guy again?
You have got to be kidding me.
Hey boys, I got y'all's cake right here, man. Oh, I got it right here. Wait till you get a load of this.
Derek, come on, man. I got somebody way better.
Hey, suit yourself, fellas.
Always go with someone you can count on. Emerald City Sweets is locally female owned and operated. They have been in business since 2019. They are open Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They serve soups, salads, sandwiches, and of course, cupcakes. They offer custom cakes and sweets for your every occasion. Located at 302 Pine Forest Street in Dublin, Georgia, they can be reached at 478-205-5385. Again, that's 478-205-5385. And their Facebook is linked in the description. Get your event done right with Emerald City Sweets.
That is way better.
I remember one time, this must have been your second senior year. I just don't know I
Say
never
it
referred
again.
to it. So I was in 11th grade, Brian was in 9th, and you were second time senior. And I remember leaving.
The second senior year hurts.
But you were.
I mean, it hurts a little, y'all.
I was going down Brookwood.
I'm not made of stone.
He's got feelings too, man.
I do have feelings.
He just keeps saying
He's coming up with different ways to say you failed the 12th grade.
So I was at the four-way stop. I was going home. I think I had an appointment or something. So I was going home, and I can remember
What four-way stop?
up here on Brookwood.
It wasn't a four-way
It was
stop.
a two-way.
then.
It was a two-way at the time. But I was
I know what you're talking about.
So I was turning right, I believe. We were right there on that road, and I can remember you riding in your gray or your silver. What was it? A
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix. And all of a sudden, I see your hand go out the window with a Marlboro light in it. And I'm going, what is he doing? Wait, he at school right now. I had an appointment. Is he skipping or what? But what it was during that year that you were like the the golden boy.
You were, yeah.
Second time around.
You redeemed
You
yourself.
would go get breakfast for all the teachers and stuff.
No, and when I worked in the office, it was in the morning time, and and I'd always get me a Canadian Sunrise too. Hardy's was right across the.
Sure was.
And I was probably riding around smoking a cigarette
That's what
before I
I'm
went back
talking
to school.
And I remember your hand going out, and I was going, man, I want to be like him.
Yeah. I used to sit in the back of that Grand Prix every morning listening to Bon Jovi, smelling the smoke of a Marlboro light, thinking to myself, one day I'm going to be cool like KT. You watch and see.
That's really cool.
One day I'm going to be. I didn't pick up the smoking, boy, but I tried to.
Smoking cigarettes.
I followed your trail and every other avenue you went down.
That's funny. Man.
I went through Chick-fil-A the other morning, as I often do. And the girl was standing there, one of the regulars. Well, I guess that's what I would be as a regular. She works there.
One of the regulars that works there?
She has to be regular.
What an idiot, man. What an idiot.
One of the ones that calls me Mr. Brian, I guess I should say. And so I'm sitting there, man, in the car in front of me had pulled up a little bit, so I wasn't moving, though. I was talking to her, and I look in my rearview mirror, and one of the police SUVs from Dublin is coming up behind me, and I started going, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. And she didn't see him. She goes, what's wrong? I go, he's pulling in behind me. And she literally turned around and looked at the cop. She goes, okay, just act normal.
Did she really?
Played along with it?
Yes.
Oh, my God. That's
Just
funny.
act normal.
Just act normal.
Now, you wouldn't do nothing wild like that at Chick-fil-A line, would you, Kevin?
Shenanigans at Chick-fil-A? No.
I mean, no. But when they remodeled it, you know, and you had them out there with their
Vest?
vests on, you know, and their handheld cash registers, whatever you call it. But, I got one day I went through there, and of course they always ask. I mean, just like they say, "My pleasure." That's what they're training them to do, and everybody knows that. They're taught to do that. They wouldn't be working there if they didn't say that.
Absolutely.
But and they got awesome employees. All those young kids are all awesome. But I got to thinking. I said, I'm not gonna tell them Kevin this time when they ask you, "Can I get a name for your order?" And I don't know why. I got it off the show Friends, I think. That's what Dragon. I said, Dragon. She said, and she looked at me. She said, Dragon? I said, that's right, Dragon. And I was trying to play it off, trying to have a straight face, and got up there. And the only reason I did that is to hear with the group when you get up there and the girl gives you your food, whoever's there gives you your food, girl or guy, whatever. Just to hear them say, Dragon? But now I don't do that all the time. I don't do it all the time. If I'm in a playful mood, what have you, got a few days off of work, and I'm not in a bad mood, you know, come off night shift. But anyway, a couple of other ones, y'all get a kick out of some of these. One time I told a girl Frank Sinatra, and
Did she get it?
Probably not.
Oh,
when I got up there,
Probably
and
not.
I understand pop culture. He died in '98. He died in 1998. He'd been dead a long time, but still, though, you would think if they read, you know,
What other name? What else have you?
But the girl said, who? And I said, you never hered of Frank Sinatra? And I said, he was just a legendary singer for decades and decades. Yeah. Another one's Joey Tribbiani. Yeah, I like that one.
From Friends?
Joey Tribbiani. The name Tribbiani just sounds
Yeah,
funny.
that is good.
Of course, they can't spell Tribbiani.
Yeah.
And so I pull up there, and she said, Joey, and I said, Joey Tribbiani.
Did you really?
Yeah. And I'm trying to think if there's any more.
All of a sudden, everybody going to Chick-fil-A is going to start giving fake names.
I hope so.
I mean, some people probably. I mean, I'm just when I'm in
You're
that
trying
kind of
to
mood.
bring humor.
Yeah.
That's all.
And even if they don't get it, I'm sitting there
it's-
giggling to myself when I
nobody
pull
got
off
hurt.
because it's just
Right.
you hear them call you a name that's not yours.
Yeah. Yeah. I did it and I did it in honor of you in Atlanta. You remember that at Chick-fil-A? A few months back, we were up in Atlanta.
You sent it.
I
You videoed it.
I
You sent
videoed
the
it.
video, yeah.
Girl was like, Dragon. Dragon. I said, Dragon, right here.
Oh yeah, the gala.
What was so funny? At the gala in
I
Atlanta.
was trying to remember when we did.
What was so funny is before she called my name, she actually asked another employee, "You got them fries for Dragon?"
Did she really?
Yeah. You got them fries for Dragon?
That's too funny.
What about, I don't know if you mind telling this about, I know that you're like, I got it from you, I'll say that, the bargain shopping. Have you ever kind of gone out of your way to get an item that was maybe not on the shelf?
Like on sale, something on sale?
Yeah.
So, can you mind sharing that with us?
First of all, people out there in podcast land, I do want to tell you, it's all right.
Put a disclaimer.
This is probably. I've never noticed if it said employees only on the door.
This is good.
I mean, I've told y'all about this.
Now, where exactly are we talking? Are we at
Two different
Cooler?
places. There's two different places. I
Okay,
can tell you.
So you're a repeat offender.
Yeah, but I mean, I've gotten.
But that's what they call it in the court
I've
system.
done it. I mean, I've done it. I don't mean every time I go in there, but they got something that I've got on my little jotted down that I need. Whether it's on sale or not, it's really got nothing to do with it being on sale. I was in Walmart one time, and they got most people don't even know it's their product because it probably stays closed most of the time. There's a big steel, I think it's steel door. All right, when you go back to the service department, the auto, where you got all your oil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was getting a couple of quarts of oil. I'm changed the oil to my lawnmower, I think. They didn't have the type that I wanted. And now this has been, you got to remember, I'm not apologizing for this, because in my mind, I did nothing wrong. And I'm not, I'm just saying.
Let the people know
I'm
you're
not saying
apologetic.
it's right. It's probably frowned upon, and it might be against the rules. But sometimes you can call that a wish list.
Sure.
But,
Sure.
anyway, the oil and the oil, the shells they've got. If you've ever been in there,
He's
they
getting
don't
angry.
slide. I'm not.
Let him tell the story. Let him tell the story.
You love it when I get angry. But all right, it's back there in the back corner.
All right.
And the shells, the way they are, they're metal shells, steel, and if people take them out, they don't slide down like
Okay.
they're designed.
Gotcha.
You got to have employees back there.
Pushing them back.
And I'm not trying to kick Walmart, but this was back during when COVID was
Sure.
really high. And people wasn't showing up to work, and a lot of them still don't. But you were looking for what you need up there. All right, and I see them. I don't see any, but I look through there, and you can see there's like it ain't a closet. It's like a storage room that I guess they keep the inventory in there.
Sure.
Well, I saw some.
And you're like,
Exactly what I needed. Ding. 10W30, the brand I needed. And I walk, and the door is actually, the big door is open. You can't even really tell there's a door there. Well, I walk
Talking
in
about
there.
the big steel one?
Yeah. It's right there close to where you go get your tires put on, where the tires and all are.
Right.
And I just walk in there. I'm not stealing anything.
You would never have thought. No.
I mean, no. I'm not going in there doing something I shouldn't be doing. I'm going there to purchase
You
something.
need the oil. There's the oil.
And nobody's around. Well, I come out, and there's this big guy. You're a large American. But this guy was probably not quite as tall as you are. But he was a young kid. He was probably 25, I'm guessing. Well, I'm sitting there, and I got 2 or 3 quarts of oil, and I come walking out. And my buggy's right there. I left it at the door. I didn't push it back there. And he looks at me like, "You're not supposed to be back here." And I looked at him. I said, "Well, if the damn oil was on there that I needed was up there, I wouldn't have come back here. If y'all stock it like you're supposed to." And then he told me again I wasn't supposed to be. I said, "Man, I ain't stealing nothing." I said, "I'm buying this oil." I said, "Just forget about it." I said, "I promise I won't do it again." Just to pacify.
that's the best.
Just to pacify. I mean, there was no need to argue because I get it.
Yeah.
In their eyes, I'm in the wrong.
Sure.
I'm admitting that. I'm just
You just trying to
Big
get
fan of
the
it.
way I look at
Just
it.
want to
Big
get my
deal.
oil and go.
Big deal. And I understand the liability standpoint too.
Sure.
I get that. No, they don't know that I'm the type of person who would never sue them for anything. If I fell down and broke my ankle, or broke my leg, I'm not going to sue them.
Yeah.
I'm just not. But there's so many people nowadays that do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
That
was
was a grocery store.
Oh, there was another one.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm seeing a habit
this
here.
has been-
Strikes again.
This has probably been within the last year. And I remember exactly. And I had been in there before. I mean, I've been in the cooler, like where the milk and all is.
Were you working there? Or you,
No, I just told you. No, and this was probably unethical too.
Probably.
But and when I think about it, I probably don't ever need to do this again because what if everybody did that? What if everybody did like I?
they probably could.
Most people ain't gonna do.
You could probably get rid of 2 employees.
Save them some money.
Yeah, you're actually going back there and stocking the shelves for them and stuff.
Well, anyway, I went back there and they didn't have. I was looking for a half-gallon chocolate milk. I was gonna get a couple of those, and I walked back, and I had been back there before.
Back in the
cooler.
Yeah, like on the other side of the
When you're-
shelves.
Where you
Pay
stock it.
attention.
Where you
their
stock it.
cooler is right there with the shelf where they're just unboxing stuff and they put it on the shelf and it's all one big cooler.
So you went.
It's not like when we worked at the grocery store. It's a huge cooler.
So you walked in that
I
cooler.
just walked back there and there were no chocolate milks back there. I come out. Now, this is the only time. I've got, and I probably if I got to be honest, I've only been in that Walmart storage room that one time, and
Well, you promised him that you wouldn't do it again. So.
I had never been there before. That was the first time I went in there. I got caught.
Yeah.
And
I was on it.
Yeah.
at the grocery store, I mean, I'd probably been in there 3 or 4 different times before I got caught. I'm not trying to be funny, but it wasn't like a bunch of times.
You don't have to try to be funny. That is pretty funny.
I'm coming out. This was like a Saturday evening. It really wasn't real busy in there. It was, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and I already had a few things in a buggy, and I left it outside of court. I just walk in there, and anytime I go in there, I always close the door back because I don't want it. It doesn't need to be left
That's
open.
mighty nice of you, Kevin.
So when I come out, there's a night. He's like a night manager, and I know the guy, real good, friendly fella. But when he saw me, I saw him. I mean, I heard somebody out there when I was in there, so I knew.
You're like, oh boy.
I knew. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
And I come out and I shut the door, and he's standing right there, and he said, "Sir, you're not supposed to be in here."
Heard that before.
I mean, I know his name. He's got the name tag on, but he knows he knew my face. And I said, I'm not gonna call his name on here, but I called him by name, and I said, I know I was looking for some chocolate milk. I said, I ain't stealing nothing, and ain't no big deal. And I get my buggy. Well, he starts following me down the back aisle.
Oh my
And
gosh!
I almost feel like I'm trying to run away from him. And I'm not. It's just I don't want to hear anything about it.
It's over and done with. You got your milk ready to go.
Yeah.
No, I didn't because they didn't have any.
Yeah.
They didn't have
They
it.
didn't have any. But I go on about my shopping is what I'm saying. Spending money with them. But he's following me down the back aisle and almost made me feel like I was shoplifting. and I finally and he's walking, he's almost running trying to keep up with me because I walk so fast.
Yeah.
And
You
And he,
started
finally,
running.
I just stopped, and I said, called him by name again. He said, "Sir, you understand? It's about the liability." I said, "I know." I said, "I get it." I said, "If I did hurt myself, I would never sue you, but you can't take my word for that." I said, "I get it." I said, "I won't do it again."
Did you promise?
He's like, man, you must have, you
Did
got
you
a buddy,
promise?
you got a
No,
buddy
I
that
didn't.
works
I
at
didn't.
Walmart, man. I've heard this before.
I didn't promise because I don't like to go back on my promise.
Yeah, you going back in there.
I don't plan on it.
All I can picture is this dude and Kevin just like NASCAR racing around the
And
store.
there wasn't a lot of people. This was the back aisle, and there wasn't a lot of people in there. But I finally got a little bit like, all right, this is ridiculous. Like I have committed a crime.
That's why that judge locked you up, man.
So here's
Again,
Yeah.
I don't really see anything wrong with it if you do something. But if everybody did that, that would be a problem.
The next story that you're going to have, I'm sure, is I went by there, they didn't have no chocolate milk. So I knew I'd just seen an 18-wheeler pull up. So I went there and broke the seal on the
To the
18-wheeler,
18-wheeler.
lifted the truck, started unloading the truck.
So they have where they clock in. They probably don't have a time cards now. They probably do it on a computer or something. They have a picture of Kevin just sits there and says, "If you see this guy come in, make sure he doesn't go in the cooler."
Yeah, keep him away from the frozen food section.
I'm not going to call his name on here, but one of our buddies did tell me when I was telling him about the story. He was laughing and he said they're gonna ban you. They're gonna ban you from the store.
That would be bad as often as you go there.
They're not gonna do that. I go there 3 or 4 times a week. But I mean, I live close.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's where everybody sees you. When I see somebody, they say, "I saw your brother." Which one? Kevin? Where'd you see him at? Grocery store.
Yeah.
oh,
He was coming out the back room with some chocolate milk.
A gallon of chocolate
It
milk.
ain't like it happens all the time.
I thought he'd had a second job.
I saw him stocking the eggs.
They may want me to apologize, but I ain't.
Oh my gosh.
Good Lord. Do y'all remember when we went to the Braves game? And I'm pretty sure it was Darryl Strawberry's rookie year.
Yeah, I remember them hollering at Strawberry. Yeah,
Calling him Blueberry.
He was a good.
He was
good player. Now
He was something serious. I think it was at that same game where we sat and there was like a full row, if not 2 rows, of probably 20, 30-year-olds having the time of their life, just getting sloshed watching the game.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember
I
that?
vaguely do.
And they were
Was Kevin sitting on the road with him?
probably probably
14.
We got to about the 7th inning stretch, and Mom finally realized he was down there knocking back Budweisers with him. Kevin, get back up here, Mama. I won't do it again. I promise. I promise. One of their friends had showed up with his son. Do y'all remember that? Y'all probably don't remember that. And he was like,
Yes, I do.
He was like, Scooter.
I remember. Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Scooter, you're like, why don't you scoot down there and get me a beer?
Yes. Yes. That's
Scooter.
That's what I was trying to walk you into.
Scooter, why don't you scoot down there?
So
and
one
get
of the
me a
20,
beer?
30 year olds had a kid named Scooter there?
Yes, yes.
And he just like sent him to go get him beer.
I don't know.
The
I heard
girl-
it was a nickname.
It was a girl. It was a girl, and she was like,
Scooter was a girl?
Scooter's a good one to use at Chick-fil-A.
That's true.
Scooter would
That
work.
is true. Scooter? The dad introduced all of his friends. He was probably older than 20-something. He was probably in his 30s. Well, the kid was probably 12, I'm guessing. And he was like close to our age. And the dad was introducing his son to the people. I guess they hadn't never met the kid or whatever. And there was a girl, hippie chick, drunk, I love you, Aunt Jan. Reminded me of our aunt because I just remember how she talked. That's what's in my head is the way she talked.
Can we get an impression?
It's coming.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, this is my boy Scooter. She was like, oh, okay.
Let me tell
Hey,
you.
Scooter, you like to scoot? And he was like, oh, yeah, I got a scooter. He goes, well, scoot your ass down there and get me a beer.
I remember that well.
That was like word for word, bro.
I remember.
Yeah.
Jan used to tell me after Zach Cannon was born, she'd say, I think she must have thought I was terrible to him. She said, Kevin, I feel so sorry for your kids. You're going to be so hard on them. And you could ask either one of them, and they'd tell you that I'm not that hard on them. I hadn't been hard as I needed to be on them.
That's funny.
Growing up with a
That was
hippie
Jan.
aunt was
We
something else.
love Aunt Jan though now.
She's a faithful watcher too.
She was giving me a bath one night, bro, when I was a kid. And I wouldn't,
Yeah, I remember.
I wouldn't settle down like I'm splashing in the water and all this, right, Chris? She was just, cut it out, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
I do too.
She got frustrated with
Yeah, she did.
You remember the time you didn't take a bath and you came
Yes,
to Mom,
Lord.
and Mom asked you
God,
point
yeah.
blank, and you had dirt.
No, he had it in the lines on his neck.
Yeah,
That's what
he
got
was
him.
Dirt. He was
Played
filthy.
hard, boy.
Evidently, he just didn't like taking
She
a
ran the
bath.
tub, and I went in
she
there and
said,
like,
Brian, did you take a bath? Yes, ma'am. Did you really get in there and bathe and take a bath? Yes, ma'am.
the only thing on my entire body that was halfway clean was my hand.
I remember that.
And the only reason that it was halfway clean because she ran the tub and she was like, okay, go take a bath. Well, something was coming on TV I wanted to watch in like 5 minutes. I was in a hurry trying to get to the Duke boys or something. And I just took my hand and run it around in the the water trying to make noise so she would hear it and she would think that I was taking a bath. Didn't look in the mirror.
She whip you for that?
Probably.
Oh, no.
no way.
That was one time that you got one because she gave you a chance.
He probably did.
She gave you a chance to
He
back
lied
down.
to her. He lied to
She
her.
probably
Twice.
twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
The reason it wasn't for not taking a bath. It's because you lied to her.
Yeah.
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 I got a handful of them spankings growing up.
Pearl wouldn't have whipped me.
No,
Pearl would have
wouldn't
whipped you for it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. She would. Yeah.
I used to get y'all in the most trouble with her.
Yeah. She loved you. She kept us when we were.
Yeah, she stayed with us at the house. And,
She was like a housekeeper.
yeah, Mama went to work and she stayed at the house with us. And
She loved us.
I was the baby man, of course. So
She just passed away. She was 102.
yeah,
I thought that
She
she
passed
had
away a
passed
couple
away.
of years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd still go see her, man, as adults. And
Yeah. We went and saw her. I
I
remember
bet,
several
yeah,
years ago.
yeah, absolutely. Loved some Pearl, man. For
So
sure.
I do have to say, if y'all don't mind,
Yeah, how do we know?
What
Like,
if
how do we
what
know
if-
if we mind or
what
not?
if-
You ain't said
What
nothing.
if we do mind?
If you do mind, we're gonna take it back. Never mind, my bad.
Kevin sounds like he's mad. I might need to skip this one.
Why did you wrap it up?
Hey, man, I'm great.
That did not sound great.
Go ahead, because I'm going to tell about one time I called him outside.
You do that because
Yeah,
that
let's get these stories
was that before? Was that when Mama and Patrick got married or after?
It
He's
was
shaking his head. He
after
remember, but he was-
they were married because
already
we were in the
knows.
house by
He was
ourselves.
drug out of that night. He was late getting home.
He's getting
That
mad.
much I knew.
That was the second
I was mad
time.
because you were late.
That was the second time.
I was.
There was twice.
The three of us were living together.
Three of us living together on Robertson.
Yes.
In the blue house.
Yep.
Once I don't remember the order which happened, but once I
just
came
remember
home.
Oh yeah.
Once I came home and I was.
Oh yeah.
Can
you
I
were
s-
there.
Yeah.
With your buddy.
Well, that was one time, but the first time was when I come home. I was by myself, and I came in and I
You
went
were late.
upstairs, and I was
worried.
late.
I was worried.
You were
Yeah,
worried.
Right.
Obviously, didn't have phones. We could check in with one another, whatever.
Yeah.
And you, I think I'd been drinking. Had some liquid courage, I think, is the reason that,
Yeah, you
that
were.
it, that
I
it
mean,
set
you
me
were-
off, you know.
You were a little bit.
And I don't remember. You just got on me real good, and I'd had enough.
Yeah, and you went out.
I went outside and
Called me out.
called you outside, and I was like, "Come out here in the front yard. We finna find out who's tough." And he followed me downstairs,
I stepped out the door.
and he stepped out the door on the front porch, and he didn't come down the steps because he knew that I was drunk
I knew
and
you
was
wasn't gonna
going to follow through with my threats,
right.
and he was not.
I knew if I went down those steps, we were
We're
going
finna
to actually,
tussle.
We were
Yeah.
going to fight.
Yeah, and so
And I
thank
went
God.
Back, I went back in the house.
Thank God he went back inside, and I was like, yeah.
I didn't care what you thought. For that. I just knew it was right. It was the right
the
thing
out,
to do.
the outer,
Nobody else cared what he thought
the
either.
outer Brian was like, the inner Brian was like, thank God
Yeah.
he didn't. Because I'm going to tell you, I did not want none of him, just to be honest with you. I did not want you coming down there. And there was another time, my best friend and I at the time had some company, and we went to the house, and he had to get up at like 6:30 or 5 o'clock probably and go to work. And we were over there being loud, and it was probably 9:30, 10 o'clock. He'd gone to
I had
bed.
asked y'all to hold it down.
You called me in your bedroom, which was
Yeah.
downstairs, and you're like, hey, can y'all? And we were watching like Def Comedy Jam or something like that, or
We were living there together at the time. Mom had gotten remarried.
yeah. And he was like, hey, I got to get up early in the morning. I don't mind y'all being here, whatever, that's fine, but y'all need to be quiet. All right, man. So I went back in, and I was trying to be a tough guy. I go back in, and I'm like, oh, don't worry about him, man. Whatever.
It's all good.
Yeah, I got him. And then we were being loud again, and he calls me in there again. He's like, bruh. So I go in there the second time. He's like, come on, man. Y'all keep it down now. I'm trying to go to sleep. And I was like, my bad, man. My bad. I got you, bro. So I go back in the den. Don't worry about him, man. I run this house, man. Go in there. And then we did it loud again. And I told him, I said, hey, let's just leave. We're just gonna leave. We're gonna go somewhere else. And they were like, all right.
Oh, this set me off.
And
I
I
remember
went
this.
to walk out. We were with Chris and I were with two very beautiful girls. I'll just say that. So I'm trying to be Billy
I knew all
bad in front of them,
And I knew all of them.
and in front of him, And so we went to leave, and I was the last one out the door. And as I was shutting the door, I said, "See you later, Kevin. You can yell at the walls now," and slammed the door.
Yeah, I heard him too. And it doesn't make me mad now, of course, but I was.
I bet that night though.
Hey,
I was livid.
I made it to his
and it
car.
takes a lot to embarrass me. I don't mind being
Sure.
the butt of a joke. I really don't. And when you do, my face is going to be. You're going to see
I
it's going
bet.
to be red.
Yeah, we talked about that last
and
week.
not red from anger, but then anyway. Yeah, I was upset.
I made it to
Because
Chris's
I knew he was trying
car,
to show off in front of them.
and I heard that front door opening up, and he come out on that front porch, and he told me in
I said it in
no
front of,
uncertain
I was gonna say it in
terms
front of them,
to
too.
get whatever he
They were
called
gonna hear
me
say it.
up at that door, and
Yeah.
I don't know how far of a walk that was from the circle driveway in the front from his car to the front steps, but I begged for my life the entire way.
Oh, I believe it.
Begged.
Hey, you didn't do that.
No,
You
I
just-
did,
You were
too.
apologetic.
I was like, please don't
You
jump
were
on me.
apologizing.
Yeah, I was trying to beg you not to jump
That's
on me.
brothers being brothers.
I was just about to say I got two
Yeah.
of myself.
That's
Man,
right. That's right.
we had scuffles and a bunch of that. Like somebody hit somebody. You're not really hurt. Stop crying. Don't tell mom. Yeah, a bunch of those moments. You know?
A lot of good memories too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Derek, you were gonna say though.
Yeah, that kind of spills into what I was going to talk about anyway. So you moved out then. You were 19?
Me?
Yeah.
19 or 20.
19 or 20, you moved out. And then Kevin bought a house, which was conveniently one street behind where we lived. Yeah. So then what did I do? I moved in with Kevin. So for the next 5 years, Kevin and I lived together. 22 to 27, I guess, is how old I was. Is that probably fair?
Probably. We split the bills and all.
So you talk about having it made. So I was working, a real job. I say real job, meaning I wasn't. I wasn't doing the grocery store thing anymore. I don't think I was working a real job, and
You're out
benefits, I guess is the best way to say it. And anyway, he cooked, he cleaned. He said, "The only thing you got to do is clean your bedroom. I clean the house. I cut the grass. I keep a list of everything that you owe me back here on the thing. You pay me whenever you can pay me, and I'll just scratch it off. You pay me the rent money, and you pay me some of the groceries, I'll just scratch it off. And every now and then, this is where I was very lucky.
I can
Every now
relate,
and
by
then.
the way. I just want to say.
He would go.
I can relate to everything he's telling me about having it made and all that right now.
He would go in there occasionally, and he would get
Deja vu.
he would get the list, and he'd go, "Derek, I had a good week last week. I made a little bit of overtime. You see this right here that you owe me for rent? You don't owe it to me anymore."
I don't remember.
He scratched it
I
off.
don't remember that.
Scratched it off. He said, "That's." I'm telling this because we were just talking about stories about
I
how we
don't
fought.
remember that.
But he scratched it off. He'd say, "You don't owe me that now. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "Dude, you ain't got to do that. I want to. That's more money you got in your pocket now." So what I'm saying is we as much as we fought, and we're leaving a lot of it out.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that would make you two look pretty terrible. You know what I mean? That has not been said today.
Yeah.
You know?
Mercy rule.
Yeah. So we've looked out for each other, I guess.
Stick up for 'em,
through
man.
the years. Through the years, we've looked out for each other in many ways.
That reminds me. I was working out of town when I was 19, and I was guilty of, we'll say, talking to this girl that may or may not have had a boyfriend. And Kevin called me at the store I worked at one Friday.
Oh gosh.
And said, you been messing with so and so? And I said, yeah. And he said, he called the guy's name, and he said, he called the house looking for you. He's done found out, Brian. And I'm like, okay. And the guy was a few years older than me, and let's just say that I'll be humble and say the dude probably would have beat me head up in a fight. Let's just be honest. And he said, he's going to fight you when he sees you, and I ain't helping you. And I'm like, I didn't ask you to help me, Kevin. And he says, I'm just telling you right now, I ain't going to step. You done got into this doggone it. I told you not to mess with girls that got boyfriends. I taught you better than that. I ain't going to take up for you now. You going to get yourself in this, you get yourself out of it. You going to Shrine's party tonight? And I said, yeah, I'll be there. He goes, all right, me and Chris going to be there. We'll see you there. I said, all right, man. Got off work. I got to the party. had to park like 2 neighbors down because there were so many people out there. And man, I'm telling you, the time I opened up my car door, the guy that had called our house looking for me met me at my car door in the street by himself, nobody else around, just the 2 of us. He said, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. He said, you know, you been talking to her? And I said, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I have been. Waiting to get punched at the time, and he didn't. And he said, man, I just need to leave her alone, don't I? And I was like, yeah, probably. He said, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, why is this dude not jumping on me? And he said, yeah, I think you're right, man. Oh, hey, Kevin and Chris are down here. Let me come on. I'm taking out where they're at. And I was like, now I know why he didn't jump on me.
Yeah.
Now I know why he didn't jump on me. He knows bigger brother's here, and he does not want them problems,
no
brother.
trouble.
Yeah. So yeah, that.
Oh gosh.
There were many stories like that. Many of them. Man,
Well,
I can't tell you. I'm sorry, Chris. I just gonna say I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was
and
going to be my
doing
next
this.
thing.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
I keep up with y'all, and I watch it every week whenever I get around to it. It may not be on Monday when I watch it.
We need to get you a
And
shirt.
we appreciate it. We definitely got to get you a shirt. I can't believe you ain't got no shirt. They ain't bought you a shirt?
Chris wants a shirt, too. Chris Morgan wants one, too.
I've got him on the
He
list.
just told me that yesterday.
I made sure all my brothers have shirts. they have white ones and black ones. Just saying.
Well, there you go.
You know? You know?
They make everything sound good on air, don't they?
Yeah, they all buttered up over here till the truth comes on.
I love these 2 guys, too. I mean, they would look out for me just like I would always have them.
Yeah.
We had the situation growing up, losing my dad at a young age. You know, Brian wasn't even born yet when he died. And we just always, and Mom raised us the best she was both parents to us.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, she had a big influence on us. And we owe her everything.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
And we hadn't been perfect. None of us are going to be, but we've tried to do like she raised us to be for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think y'all turned out to be very, very nice, upstanding gentlemen. But, yes, thank you so much for coming on, Kevin. What a good episode. I was just sitting here trying to go back through. I've got so many different clips that I can put at the intro of this one. I mean, just laughed the whole time. This was good.
I enjoyed it. Thank y'all for having me, too.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man,
it.
absolutely.
Glad to have you back home too, man. Where you belong.
Yeah, from behind them bars. So I looked before we started this episode. I think we were at 446 subscribers. That is 54 away from 500. 500 subscribers.
That's crazy.
Let's make a push.
Okay.
I don't know how, but let's.
I swear to God, if you're trying to do a giveaway,
I'm not doing a giveaway. It's Christmas time, man.
throw something at them.
It's Christmas time. Ain't nobody got no money to be giving away. But we will ask that if you know somebody that maybe not subscribed that hasn't heard of us, man, share the podcast with them. You know, I'm just asking you to get it out there, man. Give the gift of coffee and ketchup for Christmas.
Yeah.
We're trying to make a push for 54, and isn't that the
Yeah.
math right?
Yep.
Get to 500 is one of our goals that we'd like to get to, and we need your help, man. I ain't gonna be too shy about asking for your help. So tell them about us if they don't know about us and they don't watch. Give them an opportunity to check it out and let them decide for themselves.
You didn't know?
Oh, you don't know? All right, we're not starting that. Yes. Share it with everybody. If you haven't already,
somebody.
if you haven't already, please subscribe. Like the video, comment down below any thoughts or comments you have on today's episode. It's been a lot of fun doing it. We hope y'all enjoyed it as much as we did. Thanks as always to Buckeye Preferred Services and Emerald City Suites.
Oh yeah,
Big supporters of the Coffee and Ketchup podcast. Always reaching out to them. If you got any tree trouble, reach out. And if you need any baked goods, reach out. Their Facebooks will be linked in the description. If you want to advertise with us, just like Buckeye or Emerald City, you can reach out to us at coffeeandcatchuppc@gmail.com. Thank you all for all your continued support. Y'all got anything?
I don't.
All right, well, we will see y'all in the next one.
thank y'all.
Peace.